Thank you so very much. You are a very gracious human being, and we appreciate you being here today. So that's a wrap, but really not yet, because I want to ask you all, do you feel a little differently than you did when you came in yesterday morning? Yeah? Shout out some of your takeaways. So many. Yes? Yes. Mission accomplished. Anybody else feel that way? Yeah. This will really encourage you to jump on Litmus if you haven't been engaged in this tool, because all of these resources will be there. Many of them that have been cited, like the URI report that was done in 2021 or 2023, is on there, as well as the Don't Forget the Pets training and a link to the handbook. So those things have been on there for a while. And we're going to continue to provide you with all the resources that you need. I also encourage you, if you have resources that are working really, really well for you, I'd like you to send them to me. And you sent me the intake forms, right? Because we will add those to the platform. And you know, we were talking about it this morning at the panel. Nobody should feel like they have to start from scratch on anything, especially after, you know, your 56 brand new friends that you made today. Anybody else? Anybody else want to share their what you feel right now, what you can't wait to go home and do besides sleep? Well, I want to share with you, and Marlene and Stacy are going to come out. I'm making them come out here because this is Noah's Animal House. I want to share with you some of the things that I learned today. That a mouse in a pocket can ignite change, like it did in Ion. There is not a right or a wrong way. And this was said a million different ways, but I think the takeaway is do something. Do something. And if you don't know what to do next, this is your community. You are all part of this together. And I know a lot of you have a lot of other people back home, the organization too. We're going to make as much of this available for you to share with your teams as well. I am always available to get on a Zoom with anybody to walk through anything. I'm not shy. Storytelling, a huge theme. And we have a great story that was told when A Safe Place told their story to the Chicago Tribune and got an amazing article about how they are now pet inclusive in the Chicago Tribune, right? They interviewed you, Chris, for an hour, and then also a survivor. And that makes all the difference in the world. I was so, when you showed me that, I was like, what? So really great, really, really awesome work. I also learned not to be a smartass with a drill sergeant in the armed forces. I should just say I learned not to be a smartass, period. I learned that we own how we show up and how we respond. I was thinking about that because my daughter's home visiting me, and Stacy knows, we had a little snark last night. And I literally was like, I wanted to say to her, oh, for God's sake, just rinse things out when you're done with them. Because in New York, things don't dry out in 48 seconds, right? And stick to the bowl. And I said, you know what? It would be so great if you would rinse things out, because then they won't, you know, and I was tired. It was like, oh, for God, in the name of the Lord, just clean up after yourself, right? You attract the energy you put out. I think I've known that, but it's one of those things you need to keep hearing over and over again. If I walk in and I'm like, hi, Kimberly, versus, hi, Kimberly, it makes all the difference in the world. And just as an aside, from a public speaking standpoint, 93% of our communication is our tone of voice and body language. Only 7% are words. That one's free. Okay. My mom's favorite saint, St. Thomas Aquinas, was part of the link. Did not know that. The last thing is a little bit more personal. I grew up in Akron, Ohio. Where's Tia? Maybe she's outside. I don't know. I went to high school with Jeffrey Dahmer. Did you know that? Okay, I went to Revere High School in Richfield, Ohio, and Jeffrey Dahmer was a senior when I was a freshman. And when you talk about the connection with children abusing animals, they didn't learn of this until after they learned about him. When they went to his home, there were buried bones of tons of animals that he had tortured. Had someone intervened, and some of his friends knew about it. One of them wrote a book about it. If someone had done something about that, can you imagine all those lives that would not have been brutally murdered? So just the power of that, the power of the information that has been shared today is enormous. Marlene and Stacy, will you just come out, because you're everything behind this, and I know you both worked so hard on this. Say something. Anything.
So, wait, if you want to talk about somebody who works so hard on this, she is the one right here.
How many of you love your work? How many of you feel like you love what you do so much it doesn't feel like work most of the time? Right? That is how I feel. The good Lord brought us together for a reason. They brought all of you here for a reason. And as Phil said, go out and do good things. I think I'm paraphrasing Phil, maybe a little bit. Hunt for the good, people.
And then in the back of the room, first I'd like to introduce Whitney Palmy. Monday was Whitney's first day of employment with Noah's Animal House. Whitney is our first employee of a new layer of leadership at Noah's Animal House. She is our first Director of Program Services. Here we grow.
I'm just saying this is how we do orientation at Noah's. Yeah, we plan this.
And then Amy, sitting there ever so quietly. Amy was here Monday, Tuesday, today, in all the preparations. Thank you for your volunteer spirit. Thank you for your great heart. Thank you for all that you do, spreading the word. And welcome to Las Vegas. And Stacy sat with me when I was terrified because we were having a site visit. So for all of you that get that email that says, you've been chosen to get a site visit, I unraveled. So if you unravel, that's what I did. My perfectionist attitude was like, oh no. And I don't mean a site visit like what we're talking about to come and help, like they were coming to Noah's. And I was like, well, Stacy got to be there. This got to be there. And Stacy's like as calm as could be. She's laughing about it. And I am freaking out at every level. I walked in the room with about 7 binders, tabbed, color-coded, killed 9,000 trees to make sure I had everything they could possibly want, right? Everything they said on that list, I had it. I had it all. And Victoria takes one look at what we're doing and has amazing conversations with us, and then goes into Noah's and sees what's going on there. And what culminated from that is this. I never would have imagined this. I never would have expected this. So don't look at all the challenges as one more thing under this grant. This is all new territory. All new territory. And so this is our first convening. It might be the only convening. I don't know. But we accomplished what we set out to, because now you all know each other. Not only do you know us on a little screen, you know us too. And so please take all of this with you. Please keep saying yes. Please, please keep reaching out to each other. And Stacy, thank you for believing in the opportunity for us to be a trainer. I would have said no if it hadn't been for you.
And then afterwards, I was like, I should have listened to you, right? No, but I do think I want to, for those of you who haven't had a site visit yet, the gift was she was way over prepared, right? But that's what you do, right? And then you just make it look easy. And then when you really get nervous, you just say, let me take you over to Noah's. And it does it for itself. Because as what Carol reminded us all, when you say know your audience, or Lori Kraft, if you were in the storytelling, is like in my heart, I knew that their federal employees, they don't get out, right? They've never had the opportunity to do that. So they, as strong as they are as leadership, and as much as you get that email with the Department of Justice logo on it, and you're like, whoa, like kind of take a shot because you're like, wow, how did this happen? They really are just trying to make this successful, right? It's like an audit, right? They're not trying to catch you. And they have so much to learn from us, probably even quite honestly more than we have to learn from them. We learn from them processes. We can teach them like the power of the connection and the power of healing. So I think our biggest takeaway is just obviously know your numbers, because that matters, and be prepared, but give yourself the confidence, as Carol would say, get on your number 5, and know that just what you do every day is what they want to learn, and it just comes natural to you because it's the space you're in. My other takeaway, because Phil mentioned Maud and the amazing story about taking pets to retirement homes, Mike Arm sat with me the night before, and he said to me, how much time do you spend in retirement homes? I actually have one right near my store in Reno, but take your newsletters there, take your flyers there, because just like Maud reacted to the pets that they brought and sat on the lap and it took them back, they unfortunately sometimes don't have a lot of family visiting them. They may not have family at all. And they may have the fiscal opportunity to support you. So, I mean, he was just like literally a reminder. He's like, are you dropping newsletters off at the senior centers? And I was like, ooh, no. I go and speak, but then I disappear. So look at that example as also as a business opportunity moving forward, because it was a great example. So we just really want to say thank you, as they've all captured. This has been a dream come true for us. Nobody is in the room from Palace, but I would just love a shout out to Palace for they make the food, the accommodations. Wynn Resorts extended that invitation to all of you as a way to say thank you for doing what you do, and the same with F1. So I reached out to them and said, we got to get them a little Vegas while they're here. And they're like, we're in. So I'm glad that so many of you got to experience everything Las Vegas has to offer while you were here. We hope that you get home safely. We obviously got Noah's tours, we got schedules going on, but most of all, we just really wanted to say thank you for giving us all of you while you've been here. It was very obvious you were like focused and in it. We didn't see a lot of distraction on the phone, so thank you for giving us all of you over the last 2 days.
We're gonna. The one last thing, we have a survey we'd like you to take. It's only 3 questions. So if you would, we're all gonna, there's some folks that have left and who, that we're gonna send it out to. So if you get it in an email, you don't have to take it again, unless everything was really, really, really good, and then you can take it as many times as you'd like. Yeah, so you can, I'm so glad I have a 28-year-old daughter who knows how to make a QR code. And Marlene and I are like, well, let's do a QR code. Do you know how to do that? No. And then last of all, Whitney has the lists for the shuttles. We are going to meet at, if you're going at 3, we're meeting at 2:45 at the hotel registration entrance. And if you're going at 4, we're meeting at 3:45 at the same place. So thank you. We love you. You are everything. Safe travels home.